What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is gonna be your review of Love and Hip Hop Season 2, Episode 6. First of all, who the fuck told VH1 to change the date and time? Why we just changing shows? I didn't even know a new episode was coming on tonight. I just happened to look at my DVR. I was ready to do Cartel Crew. I'm like, why they move Cartel Crew to 10 o'clock? And they got... It's a lot. Anyway. Is it me or was this episode all over the place? Alright, so I feel like this episode was just all over the place. So I'm going to try to streamline some of these storylines because I just felt like it was just a lot of shit going on. So we start the episode off picking up with the whole Pretty Ricky fight. The bottom line of the whole situation is, first of all, Pleasure P, you have such a high opinion of yourself. He talking about something, this is all my fault. You know, I decided to leave the group and I don't regret leaving the group. But I didn't realize that I messed everything up. Then he talking about most artists don't make any money until their fourth album. Off of the album. But Spec was saying when we performed, when we were doing shows, we should have walked away with something. Now, you know, management versus artists has been around for as long as any type of entertainment industry has been around. You could probably go into biblical times and find some problems. So it's going to always be a difference of you spent our money, we broke, whatever. Somewhere in the middle is probably the truth. The dad said he took all that money and he put it back into the group. I believe he probably put a lot of it back into the group, but I also believe he paid himself. Like, ain't nobody doing that shit for free. And from the personality that he's showing us who he is, he ain't do nothing for free, okay? Okay. So let me just go on down this whole Pretty Ricky story, okay? So later on, we see Blue talk to Spec, because that whole meeting blew up. We see Blue talk to Spec, because they were talking about you not respecting your dad, and it should be about respect, and blah, blah, blah. So, Baby Blue and Spec meet up. Excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry. Baby Blue and Spec meet up. And Blue starts doing this old fake cry shit. Because if y'all believe them some real tears, I didn't believe it. But it could be. I don't know. It just came off real fugazi to me. But, basically, Blue was saying, look, I know I left, but at that time I felt like I needed a dad. And I wanted you to come with me. You felt like I abandoned you, but I wanted you to come with me. And, you know, my feelings were hurt because, you know, you asked somebody else to be your best man. I'm supposed to be your best man. I should be your best man. So Spec was like, yo, that really touched me. And if you want to be my best man, you could be my best man. He was like, all right, but you need to talk to old boy. You know what I'm saying? You need to talk to old boy. You need to make things right with your father, man. You need to make... So he agreed to talk to old boy. Now, we found a little bit more about old boy. Old boy was in jail for 9 years, and he wasn't really a part of their lives growing up. And then when he got out of jail, then I guess he was trying to build a relationship with the kids, whatever. And Spec's like, you know, he lived 2 or 3 blocks away from my son, his grandson, and he don't even spend no time with him down here in Miami. So I just don't understand how he treats family. So fast forward, because again, I'm trying to streamline these stories, okay? Fast forward, at the end of the episode, he meets up with his father at the pool hall. His father seems like one of those dudes that's like, boys don't cry. He told him that he's a disgrace to him. He said that he can't stand him. He can't brought up the money again about the social media site and the whole situation with dad. Talking about basically, you know, if you wasn't my son, if I didn't love you, I would have sued you. Because for real, that's my website that you making money off of, but I ain't suing you, am I? He told him, you ain't a real man. What a real man wouldn't have all that shit on his head talking about Specs braids, and because they're not dreads, they're braids. And he was like, you know, and I mean, I'm thinking to myself, this man is talking about you like you some dumb, like some nigga off the street. Like, yo, he is talking slam shit about you. And I'm just sitting here listening, and I'm like, wow. And he starts crying. Hey, his father told him, hey, you can stop all that crying shit. You can clean all that crying. I'm like, yeah, he one of them dudes. You know, because he did everything except for, he stopped short of calling his son a sissy or the F word. I don't want to say it. But But I promise you, if the camera wasn't there, I feel like that came right on out of his mouth. Stop acting like an old sissy. Stop acting like an old, right? Um, he said, man, why you just can't be soft, man? Why you gotta be gangster all the time? His father was just standing there. It was a mess. It was a mess. And I was like, damn, if that's who you grew up with, then I understand why y'all. And let me tell you something, father or not, there's some things you just can't say to me. When he said you a disgrace to me, and like, it's just some things you can't say to me. And I was just like, wow. So anyway, but they hugged it out at the end and agreed that they was going to try to be friends, whatever. I don't know. So, Prince. We see Prince with his dad. He meet up with his dad and everything. And he's back with Liz. And basically, he doesn't have a relationship with his mom. Is it me, or every time Prince starts talking about he was a thug, I laugh a little bit? Do y'all do that too? I just be like, he talking about I don't really speak to my mom, because my mom, I went to juvenile when I was 16 years old, and I've been thugging it out ever since. And I was just like, thugging what out? Anyway, so we see him and Liz are back together, and Bobby comes up again. And the whole situation of Bobby comes up because Liz said that, oh, excuse me, y'all. Liz said that when him and Bobby, when they were together, that when Prince would be out, Bobby would take pictures and send them back to Liz of him with another woman. And I'm just thinking to myself, Prince is putting up with a whole lot of shit from Bobby. Prince was like, well, that's just Bobby being Bobby. Then they showed another clip of him and Bobby getting into an argument and Bobby pushing him. And Prince was like, I know Bobby can just be a lot, but... And Liz was like, look, I just feel like Bobby is a hater. And Liz and his dad stopped short of saying what Chaotic said later on in the episode, and I'll get there because I agree with Chaotic 100%. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it a step further. So we'll get to them later. So then we see Tip, Joy, Chinese Kitty, the mama Chinese. Y'all remember them from last year? Chinese Kitty is performing her new song. And Joy, who else was there? Oh, and Gunplay's girlfriend, Kiara. And they're there, whatever. And Kiara was like, I've been having a hard time adjusting to being in Miami without being with Gunplay, but I got my girls, whatever. And we see her performing her new song, and it's all cool or whatever. The big thing with that whole conversation is that Joy is letting them know that, yeah, Trick agreed to the divorce until it was time to start splitting assets and it was time to start dividing up money. And then Trick was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And so now Joy is like, look, I'm trying to come up with the money so that I can pay for this divorce and be done, finally be done with Trick, with Trick. We see where Gunplay is sort of wearing Kiara down. She was like, they talk on a regular basis. She said, I do, we cool or whatever. She was like, but we broke up for a reason and I haven't forgotten. And I was like, all right, respect that you ain't forgot why y'all broke up. Okay, cool. So then Tip says she's having an event later on and she wants to invite them to come. She's premiering her new song, which I actually kind of like. It's a little bop. I was like, okay, it's cute. So we'll get there. Now, Tip and Joy go hanging out with Trina. Trina's at the video shoot for her new one of her artists. And come to find out, Trina knows that Bobby has signed this record deal because Shay then posted it on her social media. Now, Trina goes off. Trina likes to get loud in that screechy ass voice. She goes off and she kind of come at tipping him a little bit like, oh, so y'all knew? And, at first Tip was like, I kind of. But then Tip finally came forward and was like, look, he did talk to me about it. I don't agree with it. And I told him he needed to come and talk to you. But, he just felt like they, was ready to come at him now. They had money and they was going to support him. And he was like, Trina was like, oh, so he just want that lifestyle. He just want the lifestyle. He don't understand the work. Okay, cool. So at first Trina was pissed off, acting like, how could he do this to me? I'm trying to set him up and he just left me, without even. But then when she finally does talk to Bobby, she comes at Bobby differently. Like, I think she was angry at first, but then they go to the studio, and she had already invited Bobby to come to the studio so they could start working on this song they were going to work on together before she found out about him signing this new record deal. So when he gets to the studio, she lets him go through the rigmarole, and then finally she says, you know what, Bobby, honestly, let me just be real. I know about your little record deal. And he was like, yeah, I signed with Clear Music, because they was ready to support me now. They were ready for me now. And Trina was like, she said, Bobby, here's the thing. And she kept telling him, I'm happy for you. I am happy for you. I just don't understand why I had to hear about it on the streets. Why didn't you come to me, and why didn't you tell me? And that's what everybody told him he should have done. Like, everybody told him not to sign with that record label, but everybody said, but if you do, give Trina that much respect and let Trina know. Bobby didn't do that. So Trina, I think, was more upset that Bobby didn't tell her and she had to find out about it on the streets so much than what he did. Because honestly, I really don't think she wanted to sign him, if you want to know the truth of the matter. I don't think she wanted to sign him. So I really think she's happy with the fact that he signed with somebody else. But at the end of the day, it's just a respect issue about it. You family. You've been begging for her attention. You've been begging for her to do something for you. She did do some things she may not have done everything you wanted her to do, but she did do some things for you. She did do some performing. Put you on some performances and stuff like that. And then Bobby tried to make excuses. Well, everybody on your team hates me, and I would have had to fight with them. And Trina was like, no, you wouldn't. She said, because everybody on my team works for me. And they know that if I told them that they're going to treat you a certain way and they need to respect you, that either they're going to do it my way or it's the highway. She said they know that. So no, that don't try to throw that out there. That ain't even how it's going down. And so then Bobby was like, okay, well, what about the song? Trina said, oh no, we're not doing the song, boo boo. So then Bobby's pissed off, and I'm like, what did you expect? Like, did you really expect her to still go on with this song? Again, I think had Bobby handled it different, Trina may have done the song with him. Because, again, I don't think Trina really wanted to sign Bobby. But I just think she expected him to come at her a certain way. Maybe she expected him to kiss her ass a little bit. But at the end of the day, I just keep feeling like you were begging for this woman's help last year. Now she was giving you that attention. Y'all had the relationship that you wanted with her. And you didn't respect it like you should have, in my opinion. But anyway. So, Tip's performance. Tip has her performance. Everything goes well. Kiara's there. Gunplay shows up. He invites her to his album release. She said, I'll come, but it ain't a date. I'm going to bring all my girls with me. He was like, it's whatever. As long as you in the building, I'll deal with it. Chaotic is there. Bobby's there. Prince. Everybody's there. When Tip does her little performance, and like I said, I like the song. It's cute. When she gets done with her performance, she hooks Prince up with because it's at her club where she dances. So she hooks Prince up with one of the dancers, and they're going up to the champagne room, right? Bobby following behind. Bobby, what you going up to the champagne room for? You don't want none of the champagne? What you going to the champagne room for? So, next thing you know, Bobby and Prince are arguing. Bobby done put the dancer out of the champagne room talking about something. He don't want to fuck you. He's not going to fuck you. He don't need to fuck you. And Prince is like, yo, Bobby, chill out. What are you doing? What do you mean? I'm just trying to save you. You don't need to be with her. You don't need to be with her. And Prince was like, okay, that's cool, but like, chill out. Like, you being a little extra right now. And the girl is standing to the side looking like, what's wrong with this dude? The next thing you know, Prince is whispering in Bobby's ear like, yo, chill out, man. Just chill out. Like, why don't you just chill out? Next thing you know, Bobby done punched Prince. And they didn't get to fighting. Prince's mouth is bleeding. Bobby done punched the shit out of Prince. And they're arguing. They're like, they fighting for real. And Tip's pissed off. But when it's all over said and done, Chaotic was like, yo. He talking to Prince. He was like, yo, Bobby act like he attracted to you or something. Like, I don't understand. And Prince was like, well, maybe he does. Tip was like, I don't know what's up. Let me tell y'all what I think it is. I'm going to tell you two things. One, either they done did the do, and in the daytime, Prince don't be trying to act like nothing, but at night, he be creeping up in Bobby's, champagne room, or Bobby likes Prince. and it's not reciprocated. But something ain't right with that situation, because what you not going to do is keep putting your damn hands on me. I don't give a fuck. We friends or not. My friends don't hit me when they get mad. That ain't how that work. Hell no. So that don't even make no sense. So after the event, Tip goes to talk to Chaotic. She's pissed off. Chaotic convinces her to call Joy. Only reason why I'm talking about this because I thought it was cute. He calls Joy, invites Joy out to on a date. And Joy goes, right? She ain't interested in him, but she goes on the date. We come to find out Chaotic owns a little hole in the wall soul food joint, right? That's where the best food is. The hole in the walls be the best food, y'all. I'm telling y'all, you know that, right? And he's being all cute and everything. He giving her the food, and he bought her some flowers. I mean, no, I'm sorry. He stole a dandelion. I don't know, is it a sunflower or dandelion? He kept calling it a dandelion. He talking about something, you know what I went through for this? I jumped somebody's fence and took this out of somebody's yard. I could have got shot for this flower. Like, Chaotic is funny. But I couldn't look at Chaotic. It's no way in hell I could look at Chaotic. He just looked dirty. And when he asked her at one point, what type of man do you like? And she was going down the list. One of the things she said was, has good hygiene. Because in my mind, I guess she think he looked like he don't have no good hygiene. Now, he might smell like roses, but he looked like he smelled like shit. You understand what I'm saying? But he seems like he's a funny dude. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that you could laugh with or whatever. But at the end of the day, Joy let him know, look, I ain't really trying right now. I still got to handle my business with Trick. You know, that situation, it really ain't over like it need to be, and, you know, I ain't really ready to do nothing. And Joy was like, he's not really my type, but at the end of the day, I do need to get my situation straight with Trick, because when the right man does come along, I want to be ready to hook up with him or whatever. That is pretty much what happened, y'all. It was a lot. It was all over the place as far as I'm concerned. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Peace.